So this week, the Baltimore Ravens entered the final week of OTAs, ending on Thursday. And now that the Ravens have had a better look at the team and what's going on, some strengths, some weaknesses, even though there hasn't been any real live competition, they have an idea of what this roster construction is going to look like. They have an idea of what weaknesses they have on the team, where they can improve. And with the Ravens coming in with a little bit of influx of money last week, they now have some money to spend. And that brings me to today, where there is some more news in the NFL where the Packers are going to release cornerback Jaire Alexander. So this gives the Ravens to strengthen an area of weakness on the team. It gives them another option just in case they want to upgrade CB2. With the unknown and uncertainty with Chidobe Awuzie, with TJ Tampa, those two having health concern issues, and Jalen Armour-Davis possibly being moved to safety, the Ravens have another option where they can go out and acquire a player that may be a strength. Now, this defense is already damn good, and adding a player like Alexander makes this team even better. The former All-Pro and the former Pro Bowler who was drafted in 2018 with Lamar Jackson still has a lot left in the tank. When he is able to be on the field, he is one of the better defensive backs in the league. And being that he has such high caliber play, he and Wiggins can become interchangeable parts, guarding wide receivers 1 and wide receivers 2. Not having to be stuck on one side of the field or another, they can be moved around and deployed in different defensive formats. But the one thing that we all have to talk about, and one thing that's on a lot of Ravens fans' minds, is health. And that is the one thing that has been concerning with Jaire since he's entered the league. His first few seasons, he was relatively healthy, but since 2022, he has only played in 34 out of a possible 68 games. But if he can stay on the field, he is a lockdown corner that would make this defense even better. The Ravens last year, coming in with the 27th ranked pass defense, can only get better. The second year in Zach Orr's defense, the second year of the understanding, and bringing in better talent, because right now even Awuzie is better than Brandon Stevens. So bringing in an all-pro type talent can take this defense over the top. And the one thing that the Ravens are going to need going forward, especially in the playoffs, are defensive players that can turn the ball over. They have guys that can cover, they have guys that can get to the quarterback. But they do need more people that can get the ball back to Lamar Jackson and give him more opportunities to score and maybe advance even further in the playoffs. And one thing that I think that is vitally important about bringing in Alexander is the fact that if you watch back in the 2018 draft when Lamar Jackson got drafted, he was just as happy, if not happier, for Lamar Jackson than anybody else. Just the joy seeing his teammate, a former teammate at Louisville, get drafted in the first round brought him excitement.
What? Alright, Lamar, it's surreal. It's great. My boy Lamar. What? What big? What big?
Hey, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Let's go, man.
Let's go.
I told you, man. I told
Right.
you.
Right.
Hey, be great.
Right.
And then it shows that he's a team guy. He's not a me-first guy. And I think that that may be a misconception about him because he did have some issues with the Green Bay Packers. I think there was an incident where he was a captain on the team. Something happened at midfield where he decided that he didn't want the ball, or he went opposite of what the team wanted, and they felt like he wasn't a team-first guy. But for me, from what I've seen, he is a team-first guy. He may be a little bit of a loose cannon. He may have his own personality. He may have a strong personality. This may be another issue where he doesn't fit with the Ravens, only because John Harbaugh does not like guys that have strong opinions. But if we're going off of play alone, Alexander is one of the best cornerbacks in the country. Now that gives the Ravens an opportunity. It gives them actually two opportunities to come in and upgrade a position, because there is still a chance for the Ravens that they could trade for Jalen Ramsey or pick up Jaire Alexander. Now, by picking up Alexander, it doesn't cost them a compensatory pick. They don't have to trade any assets. All they have to do is sign him. And I think that he having a friendship with Lamar could give the Ravens an upper hand in bringing him to this team, and being the fact that the Ravens are a Super Bowl contender. What more could you want? It's kind of, to me, like the Miami Heat situation where you have LeBron James and you have Dwayne Wade. You have two guys that are really good friends balling out together. So not only do we have a chance to win, I can play with one of my homeboys and have fun while doing it. Whereas he could possibly go to another team and make more money but lose. And a lot of guys, when they tend to do that, they seem to be miserable. Tyreek Hill is another example of this. Yes, he got his $30 million a year contract going to Miami, but I think the frustration from him coming from a Super Bowl team or a team that challenges for the Super Bowl every year to go into a Miami team that struggles to make the playoffs, that doesn't compensate for the money that he's making. You can see that he's unhappy. After the season was over, he requested a trade. He walked back on it, but I don't believe that he's happy because he's used to a winning culture. He's used to going to AFC championship games every year, and now he can't make the playoffs. So for Alexander to come to the Ravens, you get the best of both worlds. You get the best of winning. You get the best of playing with your friends. You get the best of one of the best organizations and best locker rooms inside the entire NFL. So I think that the Ravens could possibly make a move. They could possibly do something before next week, because beginning next Tuesday, that fast, mandatory minicamps begin on the 17th. So from June 17th to the 19th, they have mandatory minicamps where everybody is supposed to be there. This isn't like now where you can show up when you feel like, be there the first few days and then ball out and do something else. You have to be there or you will get fined. And if they bring in Alexander, if they bring in Jalen Ramsey before this time, that gives them time to get acclimated, because right around the corner, right after mandatory minicamps, about a month later, you're going to have training camp. So you will want to come in, get acclimated to your teammates, get acclimated to the system, just get acclimated to being in this building, this environment. So the Ravens can make a move to make this team even stronger. And even though I'm not a defensive guy, I believe that offense is the way, especially in 2025. I do think that signing Alexander or trading for Jalen Ramsey would be the best move for this defense. It would help out this team, and then it would give them the opportunity to focus on this offensive line, because as of right now, we're not set at left guard. Right guard, we have a clue. Lele might be better. We don't know what's going to happen with the left guard. So if we get cornerback 3 out of the way, we know the Ravens love their cornerbacks. They love having a plethora of cornerbacks, and them having a collection of guys that hasn't stayed healthy in the past. You probably need as many as you can to keep on this roster just in case. And being that the Ravens are collecting so many DBs, they would not have to play an enormous amount of snaps, which keeps them fresher through the season, which can keep them healthier. So that might be another reason that Alexander might want to come to this team. So bringing in a guy who has 12 interceptions throughout his career, was a former All-Pro, a two-time Pro Bowler, would make this defense even better. Now, I know we have concerns with the pass rush. We have concerns with stopping the run. The Ravens have been one of the best teams versus the run in the NFL. So I think that this would be just an outstanding move. I can't believe that I'm saying that the Ravens should go out here and get more defense, even though we've allocated so many things to this defense that kind of struggled early on last year. But I do think that this would make this team a little bit better. It would give the Ravens a better opportunity in the playoffs to stop some of these teams, because just like in the NBA playoffs, once you get to the postseason, you start getting the creme de la creme, the best of the best, the top quarterbacks in the league. And it is hard to stop some of them. So if we can get some guys in here that can shut down the pass, I'm all for it. The Ravens right now are in the midst of solidifying their wide receiving core with extending Bateman. Don't know if they're going to do anything with Zay before he gets too expensive. Don't know what they're doing with the tight ends, but they're trying to keep a lot of their homegrown talent. They're trying to keep a lot of their playmakers on board. So now if we can just get that defense right and get this offensive line right, the Ravens will be in a great position to win the Super Bowl this year. And from the looks of the way that things have happened and the way that things are going on, the Ravens look to be, I'm not going to say all in on making this team better, but they have done some things that are uncharacteristic of what they've done in the past, which shows me that they're a little bit more serious about getting Lamar Jackson a Super Bowl, because we don't know how long we have Lamar Jackson for. Yes, he is still under contract for a few more seasons, but with his $74 million cap hit looming next season, what are the Ravens going to do? Because he has the upper hand now. Unlike in 2023, when the Ravens put the franchise tag on him and were like, you know what, go find your value, go find your worth. I think especially after last season, seeing what Lamar did, they know his worth, and Lamar holds all of the chips. Lamar is in complete control of his future. Lamar has a no trade clause in his contract. So he can tell the Ravens, you know what, give me the money that I want, go out and get the pieces that I need, do something, or else I'm going to sit out, or I'm going to walk, I'm going to request a trade, I'm going to do something. So I think the Ravens, with them knowing this, know that they have to build the best team possible to get things done now. We don't know how many more prime seasons we have out of Derrick Henry. This team could look drastically different next year with Odafe Owe being gone, Travis Jones being gone, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. There are a lot of key pieces to this Ravens team that could be gone after the 2025 season, so they have to kind of get things right now. And to me, going out getting one of these top flight cornerbacks to pair with a young Nate Wiggins, to pair with a Marlon Humphrey, to pair with a Malachi Stark and Kyle Hamilton, I said last year, could possibly be the best in the league. I know I was wrong last year, but I think adding an all-pro talent like that will put the Ravens over the top and possibly give them their best chance of winning Lamar's first Super Bowl. But the first step starts now as far as what the Ravens do to construct this roster. Next step, mandatory minicamp, training camp, and the start of the season. Don't have to worry about the AFC North whatsoever because the other teams in the North just seem to be just muddling along, doing whatever. I don't understand as franchises how they feel like they're building contenders. Kudos to the Bengals for what they did in signing their stars on offense, but defensively, you've alienated your best pass rusher, your best defender by far. You just today let go of one of your better linebackers who, while he's been with the team has been a top 10 defense outside of last season. What are you guys doing? You're making it easy for the Ravens. Then you have the Browns who just do Browns type things, and now you have the Steelers who now seem a little bit overconfident in the fact that they're signing Aaron Rodgers. What did Aaron Rodgers do when he was the quarterback of the New York Jets, of a team that had a top 5 defense, and all they were a quarterback away from making the Super Bowl? Didn't do much of nothing. Now the Steelers just feel just that much more confident, even with the depleted offensive line. The ground game is suspect right now. You guys are making it easy for the Baltimore Ravens for this team to go out and win a third straight AFC North championship. So once we get the AFC North championship, if we can lock up one of the top 2 seeds, preferably the top seed, have that week off and be 2 games away from the Super Bowl, the roster construction is vitally important for what the Ravens do over the next upcoming weeks. And I understand that they can pick up guys later on, but you want to bring them in now so they can get comfortable, so they can get acclimated, so they can learn their teammates, because it's not always about fielding the most talented team that you can. If you don't have the brotherhood, the cohesiveness, you don't win titles, because the Ravens have had very extremely talented teams and we did not win. So for me, it starts now, and I think that bringing in one of these defensive players, one of these defensive backs can help the Ravens get over that hump. But don't get me wrong, we still need to address the offensive line. I'm going to bang the table until they bring in some competition, whether Andrew Voorhees is that guy or not. They still need to bring in some competition so that you can have the best starting 5 protecting Lamar Jackson. And hopefully the Ravens are going to get that done. But we'll see.